What's up, everyone? Hello, my name is Scolarion. Welcome to the first Voices of Phone Destroyer minicast. So there's been a little bit of outrage after the recent balance announcements on Reddit, and we thought we'd do a nice little discussion before they hit live, see if we agree with most people on Reddit. So with me, I have three lovely co-hosts joining me. They're gonna introduce themselves. So first off, top right, we have Average Guy 777.
What up, mofos? It's your boy, Average Guy 777. Y'all know me. I'm real big on the community, supporting, showing off all the fine folks that love playing the same game that we all play. You can find me on all social media platforms, all places. I'm Average Guy 777.
Nice. In the bottom right, we have Blick 420.
Wagwan G. My name is Blake 420. Do commentary for South Park. Started the streaming. That's about it, mate. Catch me on YouTube. Wagwan.
Nice. And in the bottom left, we have James Best.
Hey, I'm James Best. On game, I go by Free Waterfall the Third. I do informational videos and whatnot for South Park Phone Destroyer. Hit me up if you want to hear the latest news.
Nice. All right, so I figured we'd start off, before we jump into Mystic, we'd start off with a quick mention what we all think about the Stand of Many Moons change. For people that don't know, his ability, his base value on it, on level 1, it's going to go up from 60 to 200. So that's going to be pretty nutty. Let's start at bottom left. James, what do you think about it?
I do feel Stan deserves some love. He was very underpowered, and now he is slightly overpowered. He's going to kill level 5 assassins with his charge now at level 1. And honestly, I feel it should be toned down a bit, but for right now, I can definitely see him being a meta card for Adventure.
Okay, nice. Blake, what do you think?
Personally, I don't like it, but I feel like he's gone from you've taken the worst card and just made it the best card just because it was the worst card, and I feel like that's a bit much because Adventure's already got Fireball and Lightning Bolt. You've got enough. You don't need another one in there because you're getting that for free. He's going to be moving. He's going to be attacking, causing mischief, and then with all that and a power bind nerf, he's going to be blowing up your entire team, mate. It's a bit much.
Yeah. Right, Average Guy. What do you think?
I totally agree with Blake. It is a bit scary to look at. Now we do have to take into account the all the buffs going to rares, epics, and legendaries. But I'm looking at my Smuggler Ike. One of my favorite combos, the Crackhead Ike combo, is going to be gone now because Smuggler Ike being able to be wiped off the board like that so quickly, because everybody and their mother is going to be running Stand of Many Moons. I'm going to be running it. I'm actually thinking, am I going to be running 2 stands? Because I've got Program Stand. I'm trying to get to level 4 right now. And I need to take out Smuggler Ike, so I'm trying to think, should I just run 2 stands? So I do think it's a bit much. Hopefully it won't be, but if it is, hopefully they'll fucking fix it very quickly. Because right now it looks very scary.
Yeah, they'll probably hotfix it, right? If it ends up being too much. I think like the main cards that are going to be hit by this change is going to be of course, the commons and the assassins, as well. I wonder what the effect is going to be on like the higher up tiers, like the rare, epic, and other legendaries, because they're gonna. It kind of depends on how the scaling on their health works, right?
Yeah, but I mean, look, a base level 1 legendary being able to kill a max level 5 is just a bit ridiculous.
Savage. A savage, mate.
Yeah.
Because let's say it's Stan, if I'm correct in saying, because I don't actually have a Stan of Many Moons, fantastic. He is the first legendary you can get from like the lowest rank. So most people are going to have him off the bat level 2, fully max, mate. Most people are going to have him level 2. And so that's going to be 300, 400, I don't know yet, damage on his fire. That's wiping out my Zen Cartman, mate. Well, not really, but he's almost dead.
I know what you mean.
Like, he is almost dead. I'm not even over-exaggerating.
I feel he should be moved up the ranks, like maybe to rank 20 or 30. I don't know. He's really powerful for rank 1.
I just think he's going to clear commons. He's just going to, because I reckon epics, rares, and legendaries, they're going to get a fat HP boost in scale with Stan, because obviously they're coming out with Stan. So they know that those cards are going to withstand Stan's move or ability. You know what I'm saying? Well, withstand. But yeah, you know. But I reckon he's going to clear all commons. They're all dead, mate. All of them.
Okay, I'll play devil's advocate here, right? So, I think a lot of the game right now revolves around assassins, and like little skirmishes that they have. Maybe it's like a good way to shift it kind of back from like South Park Assassin Destroyer to more of a general, we're actually fighting cohesively in the middle type deal. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I guess.
Yeah, I definitely agree. All these changes look like they are trying to change the meta rather than change the cards. This looks like a meta change.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. I was gonna say most of the time with my mystical approach, it's always getting everyone to attack someone like a Zen Cartman or a melee, and then you just drop someone like Princess Kenny in, and then he just goes in and ravages through everyone who's like focusing other people. So that's like my approach to clearing out a board. So obviously, if Princess Kenny's just going to be instantly one banged on multiple occasions, it makes it slightly harder, and then I'm going to have to change my approach. But then I can't say anything until Tuesday, until I try out what I've got to say whether or not I can make a new approach to my tactics, so to speak. It's hard to say.
I'm excited to see what people are going to come up with. All right, let's move on to our first of the mystical cards. What do you guys think about the talks about regeneration? One thing I thought I wanted to mention before this is that I see a lot of people. There's a lot of outcry saying regeneration is nerfed. I could not find any confirmation actually on if it's actually nerfed or how the scaling is going to work. It just says like at the very late levels, the scaling is not going to be as big as the early levels. I don't know what you guys think. Start off average guy.
Well, talking with the guys, it's going to be stronger at lower levels, and when it gets into the higher, like the level 4, level 5s, it's going to be not as strong as it is now. So, I guess is a buff / nerf at the same time. It's a buff at lower levels, and then kind of a nerf at higher levels. So, they had already changed. They had already nerfed regen before, and I thought that nerf was suitable. So I'm a little confused as to why they went and messed with it some more. But again, it being stronger at lower levels, I guess, kind of promotes newer players to be able to try it out and around with it.
Did they confirm it started at like down, not scaling as hard at like level 4?
I don't know if it's level 4. I was just told it had higher levels. Yeah, it's not as strong as now.
Yeah, because the cap is at like 7 for ladder, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, that could be important because when tourney cap comes in, I guess for tournament cap it's still going to be at 3, so it should be stronger at tourney cap than before. Anyways, Blake, what do you think?
To me, I feel like it's a slight nerf, but I don't feel it's a nerf in a sense. I feel like they're trying to make Hallelujah more of a viable option. I think they've been watching a Biogenesis his streams, mate. Like genuine, because I genuinely think you're going to see lower levels using regen, higher levels using Hallelujah, guarantee. Like that's the way I think it is, and I've been trying out Hallelujah since watching a bio, and definitely Tuesday it will be in my deck over regen. Because I ain't changing from Mystic. We're going Mystic all the way. Mystical, sorry, I didn't want to say it wrong. Hey.
Sticking with it, right? Like if you've invested.
Yeah.
At least for
literally, that's it. My adventure cards aren't worth anything. I think my best card is a level 4 Ike, level 4 Heidi, mate. Like, I am not doing anything. If Mystical is that bad, I will not be in Legendary come next season. I will be working on my adventure cards, and I will be a YouTuber doing rank 30 adventure climbing, mate. That will be me. You know what I'm saying? But I have hope, and I will make it work, because it's all my Cartman coins, everything. Even events coming round, mate. If there are events I don't like spending money on it, and if there is a mystical event that is too good for me, I will put some money in it, mate. That's just me.
Yeah.
I've worked on it my entire South Park career, mate.
Before we go over to James, I wanted to hit on this. So you said, like, if the nerfs are too hard or harsh on Mystic, you might not be able to make it back into Legendary. But you're in Legendary right now, and this patch is like hitting mid-season. What do you guys think about a huge patch like this hitting mid-season that could just screw up the rest of the whole season for some people? Just feel free to hop in if you got an opinion.
I don't like it. It's going to screw up a lot of top-level players and even low-level players in Legendary. And a lot of people are going to be changing their themes, and that's going to be a bit difficult when you're in Legendary, of all places.
Yeah, I gotta agree.
It's also, you got to factor in people who are like 48, 49. They're already going against D-rankers, and now they've got no idea what they're doing. It's just going to be trial and error. And literally, when I was climbing and getting to like 48 and then dropping down to 43 and just being like, well, that sucked, mate. It was stressing me out a little bit, working me up. So obviously, it's gonna annoy some people. But then again, saying that, everyone might find that little gem, mate. And you're golden. You just need find that one little gem in the pack, mate. Because they've obviously got one in there, and it's definitely Quiet Boy, mate. Quiet Boy Butters.
Princess Hermes Kenny's also an epic assassin for Mystical. But yeah, doing it right in the middle of a season. What is it, like? Not even 2 weeks away, the end of the season. So yeah, that's pretty fucked up. But on the bright side, that's going to give us a lot of work, because we're going to need to be making a lot of videos showing guys, hey, what's the new cool combos? What's the new metas going on? Here's the way you can take advantage of it quickly. We're going to have a lot of work to do. So that's good for us. But yeah, and honestly, I like fooling around and figuring it out. After how good the rewards were last Legendary season, and me still getting absolute trash, after fucking sweating it, I've kind of just said, all right, I'm Legendary. I don't give a fuck. I'll get whatever. Plus, the rewards aren't going to be as good as they were the first season, so
yeah.
I don't think it's that big of a deal, but it is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I agree. That's pretty much it. James, what do you think about regeneration?
I have to agree with Blig here. They're definitely trying to push more Hallelujah at us, because Hallelujah is very underused compared to regeneration, because I've never seen anyone, aside from times where it's an event card, use it. And this has to be their way of making it more common.
Yeah, I've seen a few people. It caught me off guard when they used it. I blame A-Bio as well.
It is always scary when you see that light coming from the sky and everybody's back to full. What the fuck?
Yeah, especially if like a low health assassin sneaks through. I think it's decent that they nerfed it at higher ranks though, because Mystic. It felt like if Mystic was able to ball up and then start spamming regens, there's not a whole lot you could do about it, unless you were able to save up for a fireball. But depends on the levels too if they survived. I guess it's gonna be stronger now at tournament level, which is what I mostly care about. So I think we'll have to see how that plays out. It's I think it's probably gonna be up to par to the stat lines of other cards at those levels, which I think most of the scaling is just so they can get like a good balance at tourney cap. That's what I'm feeling, at least.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, we'll have to see. All right. On the topic of scaling, What do you guys think about them not actually listing all the scalings for the new cards? Do you reckon they should do that in the future?
I would totally hope that they do that. But if they don't, I mean, it's going to be there are going to be people out there figuring it out really quickly. But they're in touch with those people. Hopefully, they send that info to them. If they're not going to publish it, at least get it in the hands of the folks that are out there putting in the work for them, and let them spread the word.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, OPNCHES says it was a dev update, not patch notes, so maybe they'll come later.
Yeah, more information's always better. And then you don't get your pitchforks out, mate. Because I'm sharpening mine right now, mate, waiting for Tuesday. But all I need is that little bit of information. Just put it down, you know what I'm saying? I'll just put it down.
Yeah, you've gone dark. You're evil blade right now.
Oh no! See, I forgot the electrics down the bottom of the garden. They trip off at a certain time, so you know, in case of a fire. So that's why the light just died on me, mate.
Oh boy. Right. So next up is Purify. We'll start with Blake this time. What do you think about the Purify changes?
Okay, so not only have you increased its mana cost, you have now taken it to it's only gonna cleanse level 2 people, level 3 people. Is it still gonna cleanse anyone on the board? Is it gonna cleanse my people? Is it gonna cleanse your people? Is this gonna be a cock magic show? You know what I mean? Okay, I've got everyone poisoned, and I've just done Stan the Great. Should I cleanse now, or am I just gonna remove all of my Stan's debuff kind of thing? I feel it's a bit much. I feel either do one or the other and then see how it goes and then maybe add more, but then again, maybe it's add both and then take away whichever one they feels a bit harsh, maybe. I don't know. It's a hard one. I don't like it, obviously, but it's just how it is, isn't it?
Yeah. James, what do you think?
I am highly against this nerf. I feel that 2 cost is definitely a bit much for what they're doing to it with this update. If it was for, I don't know, pre-nerf Purify with that huge range, if they added the people affected thing and the cost, I would be more understanding of it. But when you nerf the range again, nerf the number of people affected, and nerf the cost, why not just do it one at a time to see how good things go? And just give it little by little and not just drop everything at once to just break the spell.
Okay. Average guy, what do you think?
Yeah, there's not much new to be said. It definitely looks like it's very heavy-handed. Like they went excessive with it. I find it very hard to see how it's going to be playable after this. But again, this is, I think, like you said, moves towards the more tournament-style level cards, and maybe it'll play a completely different in tournament style than it does PvP. But like everybody else said, doing all at once is really, really a lot. And just looking at it from outside without being able to try it out and see, it's very scary. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I think I'm like one of the few people that actually do like the nerf. I don't know if it's necessarily too much, but I'm kind of going off of the tourney cap again, which would mean it'd be 4 targets pretty much for 2 mana or energy. I keep saying mana every time. But I think for what the spell does, I think 4 targets is fine. The most concerning thing to me is the range, because range of 1 is pretty small. I think it's already decently small.
Yeah.
But I'd like to just think of it as like a trade with poison. I like to think of it as a trade with poison, and I think for what it does against poison, it's fine. It's probably still going to be 1 mana up compared to poison, and you still get rid of the effect, which, like Mystic, to me is a very tempo-driven deck where you build up your ball and you carry that momentum through the whole game pretty much. And poison, all you're doing against Mystic is trying to break that momentum, and poison is one of the ways to do that. So if you can interrupt their anti-momentum moves like Poison with a spell like Purify, I think at 2 mana that would be still worth it, even though it does only cleanse 4 targets now at turning cap.
Yeah. And one thing that I see in the chat, Stibman, talking about a 1-cost card, like increasing the cost to 2, I think would have been just fine. But yeah, because them being 1 cost, like they needed to be changed. When you watch people just throw those cards out of their hand in order to get a new card, like not even to actually use them, that's pretty fucking busted. When I need every card in my hand to use,
Yeah.
I can't just toss away cards willy-nilly. So there definitely needed to be a change, but yeah, again, it looked like a little bit much.
I was actually curious what you guys thought. So, obviously, it got a nerf to the range, to the amount of things, the amount of units that it targets, and it got a +1 energy cost. So, if they decided to only pick 1 or 2 of those, like which ones would you prefer they would keep, and which ones they don't? I'll let you can go first, James.
I'm gonna have to say number of targets.
Just keep the number of targets, or the change, you mean?
Like, keep the number of targets, like that they're doing with the new patch. I feel that's a reasonable thing.
Yeah, and then get rid of the upgrade, the range. Don't do the range and the energy, just only the numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think, Blake?
I missed the question because I had to run in the house and charge my phone because it's clotted. It's actually clotted. I just got in on 8%. So can you repeat the question for me? Sorry.
Yeah, so I'll rephrase it because maybe it was a bit unclear. So they're nerfing 3 aspects about the card, which is the range, the affected number of units, and the energy cost. If you had to scrap any of those nerfs and keep a few of them, like which ones would you not nerf, and which ones would you still nerf?
So like for instance, we chatting Randy. So
no,
like,
for instance, let's say they would only up the energy cost and keep the amount of targets the same.
mate.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and let you think about it.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm kind of confused, to be honest, mate. I'm sorry. I'll just listen to your answer. Maybe I'll pick up some.
All right. For Purify, speaking specifically for Purify, I would like them. I think getting it to 2 energy is just fine because they've already once nerfed the range. So the range isn't as good as it used to be. So changing that again isn't necessary. And then changing the numbers of people it affects, I also think that's a bit much. So I think just making it 2 energy would have been plenty of a nerf.
That's fair. Did you get the question, Blake, now?
So we're chatting about Purify.
Yeah, Purify.
Yeah.
Or just Purify. Oh, so I feel I feel it should be 1 mana. You shouldn't change.
We lost him.
No.
He's coming back.
He's back.
Yo,
Yeah,
did I cut out?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. I feel like you should increase the mana and leave it how it is. I don't like the idea of changing it to 4 targets because you don't know who it's going to hit, and if it's pot luck, there's no skill in that. It's just RNG.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I didn't think of that yet.
Yeah, I have to agree. I changed my answer, definitely. I agree with Blig here.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get behind that, actually, then. Just increase the energy and then just make it so you can't just cycle it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. Because if I'm running Mystical Sci-Fi, I've got either Regen Hallelujah in there, I've got Purify, and I've got Poison. And sometimes they're all sitting in there with Alien Queen Red, and I can't chuck these out just... You know, I'm not chucking out Alien Queen Red just because I can, mate. That's just silly. And so I do... If you watch my videos, I do sit there with Purify and Powerbind. I do sit there with them. But I'd probably do better if I just chucked them away. Because they're just fill cards, really, aren't they? And then you always annoy someone when you throw Purify out, and then they poison you again, and you just draw Purify again. You just like bang, there you go, mate. Have some of that.
Yeah, but Mystical's the only class that can do that. So how is that?
Yeah, but at the
cards
same
in my hand for any other class that I can just toss out. I get shit hands all the time, and I get punished because of it.
Yeah.
And I don't have the option to toss shit away. Like,
Mate,
Mystical having that option, I don't think is.
Yeah, I do.
I need to run my deck that way. Well, then your deck isn't really very good.
No, yeah, I do agree with that. But at the same time, it's like if you throw Fireball out, you can't just get Fireball back and throw it out again. And if you do, then you've got no mana, mate. You should be able to, and you've cleared all of my cards, mate. That's fine, mate. I'm happy with that. I love people who lightning bolt my catapult Timmy. I'm dancing, mate. And then they fireball 3 cards. I'm sitting there banking 7 mana going, well, this is game, mate.
Yeah.
So maybe you're right, actually. Thinking about it, maybe you are right.
Yeah.
But it's not often I beat Adventure. More times I'm cursing the fireball than dancing, if you know what I mean.
Hey, don't feel bad because we lost Bliggy again.
Mate, why does it keep crashing? Maybe I'm not on the wrong internet.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I'll tell you what. I've taken myself off the Wi-Fi. We're now running on cellular data, so it won't mess up now.
4G, baby.
4G.
All right. I actually looked through the Reddit comments to see if there was anything interesting. This one kind of hits on the purified targets. I'll pull it up. It's what it basically says is that it can be weird for new players, perhaps, if a spell changes that drastically. Like a new player will see Purify, and in his mind he will see, oh, okay, that cleanses 1 target. But as it goes up, it keeps changing. Also, it could create like a difference in balance. Like for instance, on ladder, it could be super broken because if you leveled it up to like level 6, it will cleanse 6. But on tourney cap, it will only do 4. I know what you guys think about that. If you think that's a correct way to take the game balance, or if you don't like them taking those kind of steps. Whoever wants to start off can start off.
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, this is all pretty heavy-handed stuff. So we'll see. I mean, that's all I can really say about it. We gotta see. We gotta see it in action, how it works. But just looking at it, it does look like, fuck, man, what are you guys doing?
Do you think it'd be confusing for new players, though?
Yeah, it depends how well they label the cards, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
But how many people are realistically going to be leveling up their cards to level 6? If you know what I mean. Only the top of the top, really. Yeah, sure. And most of them are probably going to be playing tournament mode because they'll see, oh, I'm in Legendary, what is there to do in Legendary? Apart from grind a little bit at the end of the season when you actually want to start climbing to get that reward, you're going to be in tournament mode.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Purified done. What do you guys think about the Power Bind nerf? Let's start with Average Guy.
Okay, so Power Bind is the bane of my existence. I run lots of cards with charged abilities. And I just saw it in the chat. What was it that said it? Somebody said it. I'm missing it. But, Nightmeister said it. Just change the amount of time that Power Bind affects you. Because 45 seconds that's the whole game for your cards. They're going to die within 45 seconds. Either to a shockwave from the new kid or from your opponent just taking out your card. So it power binds your card permanently, pretty much. So changing it to like 10 seconds or something, I think would have been a fair nerf. But just going heavy and doing the whole thing with the range, with how many it affects, and making it 2 energy, I think is way too much.
Okay. James, what do you think?
I have to agree with Average Guy. The time did need a nerf, and that's something they're avoiding, apparently, because the range, I can live with that. the timer, though, that's really too much. Honestly, I feel that part of the reason they're doing this is that they want to give more people using Hercules Clyde because he gives a permanent power bind for 3 energy. And I do think Hercules Clyde does need some more love, but maybe this isn't the best way to do it.
Yeah, maybe the scaling will take care of that too. Perhaps. Blake, what do you think?
Well, for just quick one on the Hercules Clyde, there's nothing more fun than dropping. You drop like Mecha Timmy behind your new kid, and then he drops the Clyde's charging in, and then you just spam units in, and he doesn't get there, and then you just standing there like, yeah, and what, mate? But power bind, mate. To be honest, I know this might sound crazy, but this is coming from a mystical player who doesn't play adventure. So, for me, if someone drops, say, Mecha Timmy on their side, that card is going to last 3 minutes because I have nothing to kill it, and I'm not going to put Unholy Combustion in my deck just to blow on Mecha Timmy. Like, it's not worth it for me. So sometimes I do find that I can't kill cards. So that's a bit raw, but then again, the new cards coming in probably will kill. It'll be changes, change is good sometimes, but 2 mana, it's not going to be viable straight out the deck.
It's dead.
I
Rip.
think so too. I think it's a good thing though that it's dead because screw Powerbind. I think they should have not even made that card. I think they should have just removed it, but at least now it's a super niche option. I think cards like Powerbind are actually problematic for the game because I talked about this before, where it's a super anti-fun card because for 1 energy, now 2, you could just pretty much take away the whole feel of a deck. Like if you build a deck, and let's say it is focused around Marcus and poking people down, that deck just straight up does not exist in the game because of Powerbind. I mean, it does. People run it, but if you run it in against Mystic, you can pretty much forfeit almost 90% of the time, I feel. Also, this change frees up so much design space because I don't think a lot of the new cards actually had charge up effects, if I'm right. Except for Marcus, maybe we had Cupid Carpin. Who was before that? PC Principal.
PC Principal, Medusa Bebe.
Yeah.
Marcus.
We're Buccaneer Baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Marcus is probably the only new card with charge ability.
Yeah.
You're right. Well,
No,
Mr. Hanky's a spell.
Hanky helps him.
Yeah, he speeds it up.
He's a war cry.
Yeah. So, like this frees them up to do kind of more like wacky charge abilities. I think it's just good that it's the way. I have no complaints about the nerf at all. I think it's great. I don't know if you guys somewhat agree with that as well, but
I think it's time to change up the meta with Powerbind because I think it is used most of the time, and I feel most people probably only run Mystic because of Powerbind and Purify. I reckon that's why they use Mystical as their side theme in some decks. So it might change up their playstyle, maybe.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Have you guys actually seen a lot of decks that use Mystic as a side theme? I feel like Mystic decks are usually like Mystic/X. It's never X/Mystic.
Apart from like Zen Cartman, Regen Purify, who else is in there? I mean, no one really uses the Ninja. No one really uses Clyde. He's a bit of a niche pick at the minute.
I would say 7 out of 10 times it's mystical and fantasy. 2 out of the 10 it's mystical and adventure, and then 1 out of 10 you'll see mystical and sci-fi. Mystical and fantasy is the most common combination I see for mystical.
Yeah, for sure. I'll segue this into the next topic. So, do you guys think Mystic was overpowered before? How do you think it will affect Mystic's core as it is right now? Do you think it will still be fine? Do you think it's actually dead. Yeah, pretty much that. I see Blake laughing, so you can start off.
Man, it's not dead. It's never dead. There's always life, mate. We always find a way. I will control that battlefield, mate, and it will be mine.
Hallelujah yourself. Just play the hallelujah
Yeah.
card.
Exactly. I just need to get Fried Jimmy up so I can just heal everyone. Just heal, mass healing. That's just going to be what it is, mate. No more power buy, no more purify. We're just going to out heal everything, mate. That's what I reckon.
Literally giving life. Hey.
Yeah. Giving life.
I think it's important to keep in mind that, there's cards getting nerfed, or 2 cards getting nerfed, but there's a lot of cards in Mystical that are getting buffed up. Cupid Cartman, Zen Cartman's getting a buff, Hallelujah, Choirboy Butters, Hermes Kenny, Sexy Nun Randy. There's a lot of cards getting buffed. So I really think it's not killing Mystical. I think it's changing the meta of Mystical. It's going to force players to play differently, to think outside of the box. And they've shown before with their events that they're all about getting players out of their comfort zone. They don't want something to be the same for too long a period of time. And Mystical has been played this way since I've been playing. So they're switching it up. I'm not totally against that, but we'll have to see how it plays out to really get a good judge on whether it's the right move or not.
Yeah. What do you think, James?
I feel that we can't really assume it's dead without knowing everything else and how that's going to play out. Yeah. The assassin buff for Mystic is probably not going to do so much unless they increase the amount of energy, but then people are going to think that's too much. Because Stand of Many Moons is going to kill those assassins real quick. Mystic was never OP in my eyes. Adventure Fantasy is the biggest theme I'm seeing lately. And the buffs on Adventure and Fantasy for, with Stand of Many Moons out there now, Adventure and Fantasy mixed together is going to be very powerful because no one's going to be power binding, Stan. Everything is going to be out of control. Mystic is just the punching bag that keeps getting nerf after nerf after nerf when really it's balanced mostly.
That's fair enough. I think when I think of Mystic, though, I just think of like the core. Like their core is like Zen Cartman, Angel Wendy, Friar Jimmy, perhaps. Those are like the 3 cards I think of, and those didn't get touched. Although 2 of them are commons. If anything, I think the whole patch is like the nerf of commons, right? It's not
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I think people are kind of underrating that. And if you look at how many of the actual meta decks right now, I don't know which one of the decks actually runs the most commons. I feel it's almost Adventure. Adventure Fantasy, maybe?
Yeah.
Because they run like a lot of assassins. Rats will probably get fucked too.
But then the only thing that counters that will be Adventure Stand of Many Moons. If it's like that's based on... So Adventure's kind of ruining itself, so to speak. In a sense. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I feel you. But yeah, definitely agree with the whole basically common cards are getting nerfed. Because with the Stand of Many Moons being able to kill my level 5 assassin, the only assassin I'm really going to keep in now is going to be Astronaut Butters just because his Death Wish is pretty nice. I'm probably not going to be running any other assassins other than that unless there's a reason to. And them being able to be taken off the board so easily just makes them not very viable. So I was going to pull up my cards here and look at all the commons for the classes, but so if somebody wants to take the reins real quick.
Yeah, I just got the sickest idea ever. Okay, so you run Mystic Adventure still, Mystic Fantasy. Sorry. Okay. He plays Stand of Many Moons, right? You don't power bind it yet. You let it go off once. You put on Princess Kenny. He wipes Princess Kenny. His attack gets debuffed. Then you power bind him, and it's like he doesn't exist. So for 4 mana, you got rid of him. Boom.
Yep.
New meta. Like,
I think Hercules Clyde is going to be a big part of the new meta.
Yeah.
But yeah, and everybody laughs at Hercules Clyde like he's a joke. When I say that to any mystical player. They're like, "Are you fucking serious, bro?" I'm like, yeah, he's gonna be in there. You're gonna be.
Well, it's probably because of the they just compare the damage to Dwarf King, I guess.
Well, and plus he's very easy to before. If nobody on there was on the board without a charge ability, he wouldn't charge in. They've got to fix the bugginess of him because that's a big reason not to run him.
Maybe that gets fixed with server-side PvP, I hope.
Hopefully.
Yeah, all the charges are pretty broken, especially Space Warrior token.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I actually wanted to mention this on the podcast. I forgot, though. So I ran into this nutty-ass deck, right? This guy had, like, a maxed out level 5 Space Warrior token. And he just ran, like, fucking removal with it. Like, he killed all my shit up until I had nothing left and he charged my tower and, like, almost one-shot it. It was freaking crazy.
Nice.
I love when people get creative like that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, one thing I was curious about what you guys thought. So, do you guys think this will pull sci-fi to, like, S tier, like the highest tier? Do you think sci-fi will be the new shit?
I think it's still going to be adventure fantasy. Put sci-fi over mystical.
Yeah.
Sci-fi will be more fun.
That's fair. Well, that was a short discussion.
Again, we do have to take into account how many commons are used in each class, like we were saying before, because they're not going to be as viable. Fantasy does have a lot of commons that are run, with your Stand the Great and all that. And same with adventure, like the big staples like Heidi, like the Assassins. In fantasy, Princess Kenny and Paladin Butters, they're both commons, right?
Yeah.
So they're not going to be very good, and those are huge parts of running fantasy. So it's going to be very interesting. Beats PH says he can't wait for his Canadian Knight Ike to run, buddy. That's going to be ridiculous. He's going to be so insane because he's also getting a buff because he's a rare card.
But just think of the amount of cards that you before countered with assassins, like Barrel Duggies, Canadian Knight Ike. If you had no spell in your hand, those are going to be hard as shit to remove.
Yeah, Adventure Aerostorm's going to be making a strong push back into.
Oh yeah, that's getting a huge buff probably.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I need like.
I'm excited for the Randy meta.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Cock Randy. Oh, they
I hope one of them gets. I hope one of them gets
becomes
viable.
meta.
Does anyone know if he actually spawns? If his spawns are they epic as well?
I think so.
That'd be pretty sick. I love sexing on Randy. Be like it's Sunday school.
I love the idea of Randy. His execution is lacking.
Yeah, for sure. I actually just thought out poison is going to be weaker too, right?
Oh yeah,
it's a common card.
Yeah.
I think most of all for sci-fi, against like non-mystic, we'll have to see how Alien Queen Red turns out.
It's gonna be Alien Queen Red, maybe maybe Alien Clyde, but yeah, for sci-fi, Poison's not going to be as effective because already against level 5 cards, level 5 commons, it doesn't necessarily kill them off the bat.
Yeah.
Like there are quite a few cards that will still survive level 5 poison, and so now with all them getting a buff as well, yeah, poison's going to be tossed out.
Okay, so those were all the regular topics. If you guys have anything you want to mention, if you guys have any questions, go ahead. Otherwise, we'll see if there's any questions in chat. Do you guys have anything?
Well, I did want to say that I am excited about this. There is a lot of stuff to be worried about, but I do want everybody to realize that the people working on this game, the devs, they play this game. They play this game. Like, I see so many people sitting there shitting on the devs, like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're very smart people. They play this game. They're not in it just to make money. Like, yes, they need to make money. It's a fucking business. That's what keeps them employed. But they're not doing this. Money is not their motivation. I promise you I've met these people in real life. I've seen them working. I've talked with them about their visions for the future, and they want this game to continue to succeed. And if they're doing these things, just give them a little faith. Have a little patience. Test it out. See first before you go on Reddit telling people to fucking kill themselves and shit like that. That's just a shitty thing to do, bro.
Yeah.
So, again, I'm not saying don't be concerned, because I'm concerned as well. I don't even run Mystical, and I'm looking at this stuff like, oh, fuck, man, that's kind of crazy. And across the board buffs to rares, epics, and legendaries, I think is a little scary too, because there's a lot of cards that probably didn't need to be buffed. Like my Marcus. I love Marcus. But him getting a buff, I think, is like, what the fuck? All right, I love it. I'm fine with that, but it doesn't sound like a good idea. But again, these people know what the fuck they're doing, and if they're pushing it out, they tested it very thoroughly, and it's probably going to be better. We're all probably going to be totally fine with it in about 2 weeks. Yeah. So just give it a little time and test it out.
Let me just clarify. They're only scaling up the attack and health, right? It's not like Marcus is getting his ability buffed or anything.
Yeah, no changes to cards except for other than the scaling for health and attack is going up for all those cards.
It's a
but
shame.
Still, he didn't need that either. But I'm all right with it.
Your Marcus is hella scary. I wish I had a level 4 max.
He's sick, man.
I feel Pope Timmy needs something because he's nothing, mate. Apart from a Man-Bear Pig sidekick, he is nothing. And he is 7 mana, he does nothing. So even buffing his attack and health, he's still nothing, mate. You know what I mean? He needs a rework.
Absolutely. There's a value to those cards in the game, though. Do you know? Shit, what's it called? Do you guys know the? It comes from Magic the Gathering. You got like 3 sorts of players, right? I forgot their names. But there's like the super competitive guy, and then there's like the average guy, and then you got like, I think it's called like a Tibby even. Shit, I forgot his name. It's like that one guy that will just pick a card, and he's like, that's my favorite card. I don't know why, but it is. And I'm going to make that shit work. I don't even care. There's one guy in the world with Pope Timmy as his favorite card, and he's like dressing Bandita Sally with it.
No, Reza Cox from a cock house.
Dude, what if you could actually like resurrect the house?
The chicken coop?
That'd be nutty.
That'd be crazy.
I'd like to piggyback off the hate on the devs thing. I've seen a lot of people insulting Steve on Reddit and the Discord, and I really am not a fan of that. Steve is a community manager. He just posted the notes. He has no involvement with the inner workings of these cards and the nerfs. He's just there to send the message. So the hate on him definitely needs to stop. He's a nice man.
Yep.
He does a lot of good shit for the community. Trying to target him is definitely the wrong move. Because he literally is just the messenger. Like
he's also the dude that gives you free stuff on stream, mate. So you know,
if you're lucky,
you kind of yeah. Oh, mate, we were all going to say the same thing at the same time. Mate, snapsies. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, guys. Come on now.
I just want to say, in general, don't hate on people. If you tell someone to kill themselves, it's fucked up. This is my idea.
I do have to say, Steve needs to get that phone destroyer tattoo.
Is he getting a tattoo, really?
Yeah.
The toy robot. He wants that toy robot
really?
tattoo. He'll get it eventually.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have it already.
1,000 retweets on that post, and he gets that tattoo.
I think they even bumped it down to like 500 retweets or something, but still.
If people in the chat have questions, by the way, you can post them and we'll catch up on them.
Yeah, I'll scroll through and see if there's anything.
Did you end up checking the comments, average guy?
Yeah, I've been looking at them the whole. But I'm scrolling through now, seeing if there's any questions. Somebody was saying they hope they drop Hermes Kenny to a 2-cost. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Because it gives you double energy for a certain amount of seconds, and that can be really clutch at the end of games.
Yeah.
So no, maybe we could just will the BFU push you to have adventure for standard mini games? Well, this isn't the BFU. This is just the buff for the cards. BFU's coming out next month. But yeah, if you're running adventure, you're probably gonna have stamina wounds in your deck.
South Park Rocks 10 says Steve is still dead to me though for not getting that tattoo.
Rip.
I'm sure he'll get it. But no, I was gonna say we could do some theory crafting on what would be the new mystical meta. Like, I was gonna bring it up here on my phone and go over some cards that we could see coming in. I think Cupid Carbon is going to be a thing. I've already seen people running him at levels 3s and 4s. And him getting a buff, I think he's going to be even better. And then, yeah, Hermes, Kenny, and Choir Boy Butters are definitely going to be run in there. But what about Witch Doctor Token? He's getting a buff. Do you think he's going to be viable? Because his charge ability is pretty damn good already.
Does anyone?
I think he's going to be.
Does anyone know how his heal works? Is it like flat number or is it like percentage based? Because I can't see anywhere how much he actually steals.
I don't know, but his animation's too slow, man. He's just too slow. Most of the time, he dies halfway through his animation.
But that's what I'm saying. Now he's going to be stickier. He's getting more health and more attack. So maybe it makes it viable.
Yeah. I reckon I'll be running him in the first trial.
My girl Medusa Bebe is going to be nasty too. Get more health from Medusa Bebe. What?
Okay, she's. I don't have her either, so. But she is horrible already, mate. Trying to kill her is just.
Medusa kills gods.
That's what I'm saying. Like them doing the blanket thing. It's really
is the snake
scary.
going to be epic? Is the snake?
No, the snake's legendary, bro.
Mate, mate, them snakes are horrible.
Yeah, I love them. Look at my YouTube banner, Beats PH. Shout out to you. You made me an awesome fucking new logo for my Twitter and my YouTube. It's Medusa Bebe right there, and you can see it in the back if you look. There's a little average Easter egg in the back.
I do think Cupid Carmen is gonna be sick though. Yeah, it's just the fact that nobody hasn't leveled up yet. I think he's already pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I think people are still trying to figure out how to play him due to his speed because he's not.
Yeah.
You want in Mystical, you've wanted people to stay behind Zen Cartman. And now that the meta is going to be changing to where it's not, all right, everybody pile up behind Zen Cartman and let's slowly take the board and then just wreck shop. Now it's going to be more because you're going to be using your assassins now. You're going to be using Hercules Clyde, who's shooting in. You're going to be using maybe Witch Doctor Token, who's a fighter. So you're going to be more aggressive with Mystical, maybe. So I think Cupid Cartman will definitely fit right into that map.
Do you reckon we'll see no Zen Cartman Mystical?
No way. Everybody else still runs Zen Cartman.
He's actually going to probably get a buff with the rare buff, I think.
Yeah, he's still getting more health. He's going to get even more health, so he's still going to be good. I think maybe we'll just see less Mystical cards in people's decks. If they're running Mystical, they'll probably run, Zen, and then try to run a bunch of range cards along to keep behind them.
Yeah. I wanted to touch on Piglet Face in chat, by the way. He says, also, Ninja, if he gets a buff to the max damage he does, he would be massively viable. But I don't think he's either getting a buff to his actual effect. It's just his attack and health.
Correct, yeah. Steve said in our chat on Discord that, the only changes to the abilities or anything like that is stamina minimums. Everybody else is just clear across the board, health and attack for scaling.
Yeah, exactly. Do you guys think this will be like the meta of rares and up? Do you think eventually commons will just get pushed out? At least for ladder. I mean, it's probably going to be balanced at tourney cap, but I could see it getting difficult for ladder for commons. Because that cap is still at 7, right?
I think it'll be difficult, yeah, but I don't know if it will just completely shift them out. I think you'll need some of them in there just to mix it up a bit. Otherwise, because quite a few epics are quite high mana cost, and you can't have them all in there. You're gonna have to mix it up with the low mana cost. Get some 2s and 3s in there, and unfortunately, they're commons, bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do think that we're going to see less and less commons. Like all my common assassins are going. But again, this is something that the community clamored for. I've seen many posts about how commons scale so drastically that it's not fair, that epics and legendaries don't feel epic or legendary because all the commons are the best cards. So and people just seem to be forgetting that just because cards are getting nerfed. But yeah, we've been asking for commons to be put in the common spot rather than taking over epic and legendaries.
Yeah. Faux show. Well, I guess if nobody else has any questions, do you have one, James?
I just want to say, I am just saying I'm afraid of Mecha Timmy's buff. I am so afraid of that. And I am also very excited for Shield Maiden Wendy and Sixth Element Randy's buff, because those are my only level 2 legendaries.
Oh,
So,
mate. I am looking forward to Shield Maiden Wendy. Just because
Absolutely.
I do like pressing that shield and saying, "No, Hook Hand Clyde, not today. No, Alien Clyde, you are not poisoning Wendy." It's just a nice feeling.
When you see that fireball coming, you just quickly press it, and Shield Maiden Wendy lives through it.
Oh, she's
Reaction
beast.
time, though.
You got to be on point, mate, all times.
I did exactly
You
one.
got to be looking at it like this. I am ready, Shield Maiden Wendy. I am ready. And then you press it as and when needed, mate.
Yeah.
So, before shoutouts, what do we conclude? Mystic is not dead. Yes, everyone agree?
Yeah. We'll dig it out the shallow grave Tuesday, see how it is, then dig a deeper hole if needed, mate. But I think the community's set in stone, really. I think most of them are quite upset about it, and until Tuesday, I think they're going to stay upset. I don't think they're going to change. But I'm looking hopeful. Brighter future, mate.
I do feel that they could have done better patch notes, given us maybe some mystic buffs in there, just to make it so people didn't rage at the Purify and Powerbind stuff.
Yeah, maybe just release full patch notes before Tuesday, or slightly after, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to shoutouts. I see a very eager fan that you got a shout out, Average Guy in chat, if you want to.
Yeah, Brent. He's giving you a shout out too, Scolarion. Brent, he's a patron. He's a badass. Pick the face. Should be joining the coalition here very soon if he's not already in there. So big shout out to you. Nice. But no, I do want to say that I'm very excited for this. I'm nervous, but I'm very excited. But all of you guys out there watching should be excited because there's going to be a lot more content for you guys to be watching because we're all going to be streaming. We're all going to be making videos, trying to figure out the whole new meta. So stay tuned. Definitely subscribe to Blig, James Best, Scolarion. There's a ton of other YouTubers that'll be out there doing that stuff. I cover some of them on my channel, or you can always just hit me up online or Discord. If you have any questions, I'll be pointing you in the right direction. Don't worry. So, yeah, that's it. Get excited, folks. It's going to be fun.
Nice. You want to plug your Patreon? Plug it.
Oh, yeah. If you want to support your boy Average, head over to patreon.com/AverageGuy777. There's different rewards. It's better than donating money while I'm streaming. You can do that by all means. But if you want to actually get rewarded, get something out of it, go check out my Patreon.
Hell yeah. Right, Blake.
What am I plugging, mate? Subscribe to YouTube, mate. That's about it. I try and stream every day, but we're kind of at the minute just on the iPad and can't do overlays. But I'm going to be working to kind of put it on the computer at some point, so I can make a nice overlay because iOS sucks. So yeah, just at the minute, subscribe to the YouTube and tune into the videos and streams, mate, and we'll have a G uptime. Peace.
Hell yeah, James.
I'm just gonna plug my YouTube, James Best. If you like relaxing informational videos with classical music, I'm your guy.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Short, sweet, and to the point. I like it.
Right. Well, and I'm Scolarion. I'll probably start streaming a little bit more on Twitch because I'm feeling like it. Hell yeah. But for the rest, check out my videos on the YouTube link under my name, or under my picture, I guess. That's it. Thank you all for watching, actually, because there's still quite a few people that managed to show up.
Oh yeah.
Probably thanks to Average Guy's tweet as well.
Big up.
So shout out to you guys for joining me on such short notice as well. I love discussing these kind of things, man. Like I love theory crafting. Of course, we don't have the full information. Like all of this is under disclaimer that we're just speculating. But I thought it'd be a nice little thing to do for Reddit. I'll probably attempt to post this on Reddit and see if they agree with that.
Oh, good luck.
Mate,
Reddit's never.
get someone else to post it, mate. Then they can't do anything about self-promotion.
Yeah, it's true, right?
Yeah.
Waste, man.
Yeah,
No,
somebody in the comments, go share this link on the subreddit.
Not this link. I'll upload it on my. I'll upload the VOD on my YouTube later. So.
Okay.
Check that out. Well, I guess that's it. Yeah, I think we're all just gonna wave now, and I'll shut down the stream, and we'll look very happy when we do. All right. Thanks, guys. See you.